Hey there, Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising. Welcome to yours. What the heck do you need to know right now? Reading. So we're going to use Madame Endora's fortune cards. They can be a little brutal, so I do have clarifiers that we will be working with to try to understand the message that comes out. But so far, things have been looking pretty good for everybody. So we're going to use the 9-card spread. Ooh. All right, so you are doing a little bit of a deep dive into the underbelly of things. Why are things working the way they are in your life? You might be having a little bit of rough waters around your emotions because the South Node is moving through your sign. And so over the next year and a half, a lot of things are going to shift and change. Some of it you may not be super excited about. Ooh, but that's nice. Overall energy is the moon. Yeah. Okay. Look, you guys are, the South Node is going through your sign. You are headed toward a new moon eclipse in your sign on October 14th. That has a lot of really good things happening with that. But it's a new moon, which means it's a new beginning. And in order to get to the new beginning, you have to clear space. And I don't want to jump too far ahead because in the meantime, we still have two other things. We've got the new moon, that powerful new moon that is happening on the 14th of this month, September, that has really got some powerful manifestation energy around it. How do we clear space to really get into what it is we want? So we just went through that Pisces full moon that was really very emotional, and that's probably what's got you going on here. And because it's an energy that would irritate your sign, and yet it is there to irritate you because when we are uncomfortable, then we are willing to make change, right? If everything is fine, we don't necessarily make change, but why are you settling for fine when you could have fun and fabulous, right? And so there is this energy that currently you're having to start to recognize. I bet you're cleaning closets. I bet you're clearing drawers. I bet you're looking around things in your life. You might be going through the spice cabinet going, yeah, no, this is expired. This is expired. Ooh, I never use this. I don't like this. You may find yourself doing that in little bits and pieces over your life across the board for the next year and a half, because that's what you're supposed to do when the South Node goes through your sign. We figure out what still fits our life, our personality, our dreams, our goals, and what we need to get rid of. And so the moon, the North Node and the South Node are about the nodes of the moon. It's where the energy of the moon interacts with the energy of the sun. And so if you think of the sun as having this energetic field that's round like this, and the moon has its that's round, right? And so it's where it crosses. And that makes the North Node and the South Node, you've got, it impacts the earth. And so this energy is like showered down on the earth, and then certain things need to be changed. And so overall, we're looking at relationship balance, right? That's what Libra is about. It's about relationship balance, not necessarily an intimate partnership balance. I have to move the fan that's blowing in my eyes. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I turned off the air because it's too loud, but oh my God, I can't, I was like getting blinded. All right, so the South Node, Libra is about balance. Okay, so Libra is about balance, and in its relationship, and relationship is how one thing interacts with another. So the nodes are about the relationship balance between the energy of the sun and the energy of the moon and how it affects the earth. And so that's why as it moves through it, so right now South Node is in your sign. And that means all things of Libra are up for discussion. And so it is intimate partnership relationship, but it's also business relationship, but it's anything that has this interaction with other people. And so this is your overall energy right now, is the moon, is working with the moon, but it says you will be guided through the darkness. It is the letting go. It is the being willing to release in order to create space for something really beautiful to come in. And so this new moon eclipse that is happening in your sign will encourage you to let go, but you're letting go because you're looking to the future. And so, a container. So a really great way to organize is to say, I'm going to put this container here because it makes it nice and neat and tidy. But when I run out of space in this container, I don't go get another container. I go through this container and see what needs to leave so I can have room to put in something new that I want. This is what the South Node is doing. It says, what are you clearing out so you can bring more stuff in that you really like? So the key to the situation here is your abilities will be enhanced. Your ability to connect with this moon energy, this mystical energy, your mysticism, your ability to connect with your higher self, your ability to connect with the energy around you, that is enhancing, and that is what you're going through right now, which is really great. Sometimes when the South Node goes through a sign, like when I went through Scorpio over the last year and a half, I think, ooh, yours actually just, it looks like you're going to do a lot of, yeah, I didn't really want to, I wasn't sure I was ready to let that go, but it's okay that it's gone kind of energy. And I think that there's a lot of, okay, okay, okay. And I think it's because you're initiating sign. And Scorpio is this fixed sign, and it takes, it takes a lot of dramatic energy to move them, and also where the other planets are. It feels like a kinder, gentler energy of letting go, of releasing, if you're willing to. So here on your mind, it says darkness looms on the horizon. And it's the raven, though, and the raven is about magic. And so this darkness that looms on the horizon is your ability to use and access and to go in to the darkness, the quiet, the receptive energy within yourself in order to open things up, to figure out what really matters and what doesn't. And so are you going to have some down days? I think you do. It's up here in the thoughts. And so I think you have some down days. But I think if you recognize what's actually happening, and if you don't run from the darkness, but instead you run into the darkness and go, okay, fear, okay, uncomfortable, okay, thing I don't like, okay, this thing that's bothering me. Yeah, I'm going to look you in the eye and I'm going to decide, are you something that I want to keep in my life, or are you something that I am going to give the boot? Here's the door. You can go. And so that is what you are in the process of doing right now. And there's a lot of support to do this coming from the universe, but it takes your courage. So I really want to encourage you to be very courageous about it. I think that other people don't see what you're doing. I think that you are one of those signs that you put on a really great happy face. You like it. You like it when everybody just gets along. Can't we all just get along, right? If I were to use something to describe a Libra in one sentence, I would say, can't we all just get along? What can we do to make everybody more comfortable so things come back into balance, right? You're always about how can we adjust this? But this is a time, so while no matter what, because here the action to take, we've got the feelings are masked. So, so no matter what face you're putting out there into the world, right? You're hiding behind this face. Behind here, in the dark, in the subconscious mind, in the evenings, and when you're alone, in your sleep, in your journaling, you're unearthing things, as you should. This is the time to do it. Because if you can clear some of this stuff out, then you're opening the door for a lot of new things to flood in that are really more in resonance with who you are now and what you would like to see and accomplish and the goals that you're setting for yourself for the future. And so this is really just a major metaphorical closet clearing that is going on. So emotions are at their peak. I think you're really feeling uncomfortable. Like, can't we just all bring this all? And so I think you may be trying to put a brave face on, but you know that your emotions are a little jacked up in the background here. And I don't actually have a problem with us not going out into the world and telling the whole world that we're sad and disappointed, but only if we are actually doing the work. Not necessarily out there in the world, but we're spending the time. If you need professional counseling, you get professional counseling. Your oh, that's interesting. I've said this before, so it's not unusual, but they just said it really loud and clear. Your significant other is not your therapist. And so that's what professionals are for. And so that's what journaling is for. That is what your friend can be for on occasion, but if every time they see you coming, you have you're working through something, that may not be a necessarily good way to handle that relationship either. And so, but I think you are more than likely not doing that. So I'm going to encourage you to get a professional if that's what you need at this time. How do you transform this situation? Well, you have the winds of change are blowing. It says your surroundings will undergo a transition. So how do you transform the situation? You don't have to. You don't have to do anything. It's going to happen anyway. But can you, however, make it productive and positive and a rewarding experience in the end, instead of feeling like the whole world is tumbling down on you? Understand that the changes are happening for you, and you can make it with you, and Spirit is clearing space in your life to help you. In the area of resources, so your resources are financial, but they're also your knowledge, your wisdom, the skills that you have. But this feels like could be emotional. I think some of you may have recently, your financial situation may have changed for the positive. And you don't necessarily want to tell everybody, which is okay. It's like, when you win the lotto, you have to report it if it's a big lotto winning. Like, you have to go and announce it to the world, which really just opens up the door for all the crazies to come. But if you win one of those significant, or you go to Vegas, or like something happened, or someone passed away and they left you a chunk of change, you don't really want to tell anybody at this time, because it says your secrets are safe in the area of resources. And I think that allows you to make decisions without people going, oh, can you help me out, right? So here in your heart space, you have seek wisdom and guidance from the elders. This is 1, a professional. 2, because it's in the heart space, I think this is your higher self. It could be that you have someone who's, if you're like making a business decision, you want to, say you want to change your business or something like that, right? You go and do, like a ride along, that's not what I'm thinking of, a shadow. You go and job shadow, or you call someone who's really successful in that business and ask them if you could set up a meeting with them to kind of pick their brain, and you set it for an hour, and you honor that's just an hour or a half hour of their time. And so you go in armed with the questions that you have, and then the last question. So you should go in and start with conversation starters if you're going to do this. You go in with like 3 or 4 things you really want to know, and then that should take about half the time that's been allotted for this. And then you say the magic question. You say, what is it that you think I should know that I haven't asked about? And then listen and take great notes, because that's where the real value in picking their brain is. But going in and having a couple of things up front that you really want to figure out, and then after that, once the conversation is going and their brain is already working in this direction, then you ask them, what are the things I really need to know right now? And honestly, whenever you go to like a psychic or something, that is always a good plan too. I actually use I'm a light worker, and I always make sure I leave time at the end to ask her, what do the Akashic records want to tell me? And so it's really hard to read for yourself. And so that's just something that I do. And that's where generally the really good information comes through. So this seeking wisdom from your elders, this says to go within and listen. And this is also an advice to, if there's something that you're looking, because everything's shifting and changing, you want some guidance to do that. The challenge here, being the minstrel, is let your intentions be known. It's a challenge. Here it says your secrets are safe. Let the universe know what you intend. What's the big dream? What's the big goal? Write it down, state it to the universe, take action to move toward it. I want to tell you what I just saw, because every time I see something, and when I'm doing a reading, I think it's important. I just saw 2 little hummingbirds fighting over the last sunflower that's in bloom out there. But there's so many other flowers out there. And so there is plenty of resources for everyone. They don't need to fight over that. All right, so how does that, so you have plenty of resources, and so you don't need to tell everybody where your resources are. they can find some of their own also, right? All right, so the minstrel, let your intentions be known. So the minstrel would get the information. The minstrel would go from town to town, and he would talk to the locals, and he would find out all the gossip. And then as he walked to the next town, he would create a song or a story with some music to entertain the next town he went to let them know what was going on in the towns around them. And so he was the radio station. He was the newspaper system. He was, how they got their world news. And so this was the job, right? And the challenge here is let your intentions be known. But he would do it in a way that was entertaining and fun, a little tongue in cheek, and he could get away with it. But here's the thing. When this is a challenge, it means you have a story that needs to be told. And I think this is a story you need to tell to yourself first, and then figure out how to put it out there in another way. And so I think let your intentions be known. The changes that you want to make in your world, this is where you start talking to your higher self, where you look in the mirror and you have the conversation with yourself. And you tell yourself, I'm really good at whatever it is I have to do. I have all the talents and the stuff. And what I don't know, the information I don't know, I know how to get that. I know who to talk to. I know where to find the guidance I need. I know how to pay attention and to assimilate it into my life. I know how to make changes and move easily because you are an initiating sign. You are an initiating sign, and you are one that always can bring things back into harmony and to balance in the world around you. And this is something that you can give to yourself. And so this is where we learn to speak to ourselves kinder, and especially because it's opposing Chiron over in Aries, the inner child is being reminded that they are loved. And we have to do that because sometimes our parents were not very good at doing that, right? And sometimes we as parents aren't really good at doing that either because we were just doing what our parents did, which may not have been the best way to do things either. And so this is an opportunity for you to parent yourself, to love yourself, to nurture yourself, and to tell you, to give yourself that high five in the mirror, that pat on the back, you did something really good. Make a note of it in your daily planner, kind of like sticking it up on your personal refrigerator, right? Because you have something really great about to happen here. The energy going out of here is a new relationship blossoms. So it could be that you are meeting somebody. Maybe you need to let them know that you'd be kind of interested. Are you masking your intentions? Are you masking your intentions? Are you keeping it to yourself that you're kind of interested in this person? That's the relationship part of this reading that might have to do with romance, right? But a new relationship could be with a coworker, with a boss, with a friend, with a child or a parent or your significant other. A new relationship, it could be a new way of having the relationship. Letting some things go to clear space for something new to come in. And so it blossoms with your time and attention. So I really think we have an opportunity here for a rebirth of something because I don't know what this says yet, so I'm going to look at it. But what I see here is the birch tree, and the birch tree is a symbol of rebirth. We have the root chakra represented by the lady in the red, and then we have this other lady that is gathering flowers. And so it says habits. Perfect. The letting go to create space for something good to come in. Examine habits that may impede the path to your goals and encourage beneficial ones. So this would be cognitive behavioral treatment that you can do for yourself. I think it's called CBT. Therapy, not treatment. Where you replace a not so great habit for yourself with a good habit for yourself. So for instance, say you get up in the morning and the first thing you do is you have a cup of coffee with your cigarette, you sit there and you stare out the window and it's another day. Or you could replace that because that caffeine first thing in the morning is blocking the energy of the adenosine, just so you know, I have a degree in dietetics and nutrition and exercise science before you think I'm just out here talking. Okay, so the thing is that this adenosine, this hormone that helps you sleep, it needs to clear out of your system more and takes about 45 minutes to do so. And so if you will wait to have that caffeine, which blocks adenosine, and so after it wears off, the adenozine's still there, but instead let it clear through your system before you have that caffeine. So that first 45 minutes, instead of starting the day with a cigarette and a cup of coffee, how about you get up and you sit outside for a few minutes and get some sun on your face, maybe, or a bright window if it's really cold out or whatever, and then you go and you cook yourself a nice healthy breakfast. You don't just pour something out of a cereal box that's full of things that are not very healthy for you, that sugar, so now you'll have the caffeine up and down, the sugar up and down, and you're all day long just trying to come into balance. Instead, start with a really healthy meal. By the time that thing is done, ready, prepped, and good to go, and maybe after you've had your shower, it's been 45 minutes, and now you can sit and enjoy a cup of coffee before you run out the door, and you're ready to go. You've had a healthy breakfast. It's already something you can attaboy yourself on, and your day starts better. And so this is encouraging you to replace not so great habits with a good habit. Another way to do it is to just turn off your computer around 9 o'clock at night and slowly ease yourself into sleep so that you're getting better sleep. That will help you too. And so you don't have to go to bed till 10, but you just get the blue screens off. You put on the warm lights, not the bright lights, and you just ease your way into a routine that's good for you. So it says examine the habits that may impede your pathway to your goals. So if low energy or not feeling great about yourself or being down on yourself, when you're having those conversations in the mirror, you can start to change it by changing some of the habits you're doing. So I really think that is actually very practical advice coming forward for you. I think everything's up for examination right now, and this is really an internal job that you're doing, where you're looking at, how do you feel about this? Is this good for me? Do I like this? Do I want to change this? Can I tweak it, or do I just need to clear it out of here and start over with a whole new wardrobe, or a whole new relationship, or a whole new job, or a whole new car, or whatever the heck it is that's going on? So, talk about going into the darkness. Look at this. All right, so that's the card. Can you see it if I put it there? Ooh, you can. Let's read what it says. That is number 42. 4 plus 2. That's a 6. 6 is a card of balance. 6 is a card of soul healing. So it says, if I can find it, here we go. Ooh, it's the fairies. You are being asked to watch for situations that may get you fired up. Remember that every experience you have is a part of your learning. If you do find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, do your best to stay in the moment, be mindful, and do not allow yourself to slip back into old patterns. Whoa! That is the same message, right? And so what gets you fired up? And I don't think that was fired up like I'm excited about this. I think it's more like situations that make you because you're always trying to bring things into balance, things that make you feel out of balance. How can you change the things in your life that make you feel out of balance? Whether it is your health habits, your relationship, your commute to work. Maybe you could find a better way that maybe it takes a little longer, but it's less stressful. I know I add 15 minutes to my commute every day just so I'm not adding stress to my day. So there's things you can do. By staying true to who you are now, you will find the situation will resolve easily. By staying true to who you are now. This is an understanding that you are not static, and you are not who you used to be. You are hopefully growing, evolving, and changing. All of us should be. And so we allow space and grace for everyone else to do it. We should allow it for ourselves as well. So the fairies are showing you the magic of staying present and staying heart-centered. And so it is in your heart here where you will hear the wisdom of your higher self, which will lead you and guide you through this situation of change that you are undergoing right now. So Libra, you have got a lot going on because of that South Node. You have an eclipse coming your way. There's a lot of activity going on right now if you are a Libra rising in your 12th house of completing cycles. And so there's just Mars is in your sign right now trying to help you to get things moving in the direction you want to go in. And so Mars is saying, hey, can we take a look at this? How do you want to do that? Literally, Mars is the only planet right now that's moving direct. Venus stationed direct yesterday. but she's not moving yet. She's just like, you know, you have to come to a complete stop, and then you start moving there. So as I'm recording this, but she'll be, by the time you see this, she'll be slowly moving along. She is your ruling planet, but she'll still be at 12 degrees. She retrograded back to 12 degrees, stationed direct on the 3rd, and she's going to slowly start moving. And by the time we get to like Wednesday, which might be when you see it, she's about at 13 degrees. But I mean, she is just, it's like she's just getting up in the morning too, right? And so, is she a morning star right now? I think she might even be a morning star right now. So she is just getting up in the morning. And so there's that. So there's that energy of just, you know, coming into the awareness of the day, and so allowing yourself to ease into things, right? And so really paying attention. So part of this keeping balance, you have apophyllite. You can't see that. Apophyllite is found in copper mines. So it carries the messenger information. It carries that in the crystal, it carries the energy of the copper, the messenger, the mercury, the conduit of energy. Vitality also comes through that. I meditate regularly. I am insightful. My connection with universal wisdom guides me daily. I don't have a piece right. Well, actually, I do. This is apophyllite, but I have more. So sometimes it's kind of white, sometimes it's green. It comes both. The green would be because of the copper. You know, when copper oxidizes, it turns green. So my connections with universal wisdom guides me daily. Access all information and knowledge available. Remember past lives as needed. Improve your clarity during meditation. Stay centered and maintain quiet in the mind. The work is going on beneath the surface right now in your life. The work is going on beneath the surface. It's the excavation. It's leading to this rebirth that we have here with this birch tree. The willingness to let go of things that do not work in our lives, the letting go of situations and everything. But this is a quiet thing that you're doing. I don't feel like you're out there announcing everything to the world, but you should be announcing it to yourself. And you have an orbicular jasper, which is my life glides forward with ease. I am mindful and I think with positive action. This card always reminds me of like a swan gliding across the water, right? And so he looks very calm and serene on top. Underneath his feet are just the pedaling, because underneath, below the surface, is where all the work is going on. And that's where you are this month, or right now. I actually think for like the next 6 weeks till we get to that eclipse. And so unlimited possibilities. Relax the flow of a happy life. What goes around comes around. Attract goodness and love. So find yourself a piece of orbicular jasper and stick it in your pocket, or I don't know if they make little, they probably make little beads to wear or something. Get a piece, hang it on a pendant. Let that make you aware that everything goes around, comes around. And so it's about the cyclical nature. The moon is about the cyclical nature. The nodes are moving through the cyclical nature. And so this being in flow with the energy that's moving right now, allowing the negative energy to flow through so that more energy, more positive energy can flow in. And it's finding the balance. So overall, I feel like you have a very deep message here, Libra, but it doesn't surprise me because South Node is in your sign. I'm on Facebook every day. Leave me a comment. If you leave me a comment, you'll be in the drawing automatically for I give away a free reading every month. And so that's a good way for you to get it, because the only way I can let you know that you won is if I can reply to your comment. So, so do that. Meet me over on Facebook. I'm getting ready to record another video on Venus over there because she's stationed direct, and since she rules your sign, you might find that really useful. And I think that's about it. So thanks for when you subscribe, hit that notification bell. The mid-month coming up will be the second half of that first part of the September monthly. If you didn't see that, I will link that right here, and then you can check out the mid-month when it comes out next week. But hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. But you guys take great care. We'll talk to you soon.